This next lesson on functions is going to be a really short lesson, and it's about how to use named parameters when you call a function. As I mentioned right here in this first paragraph, there's nothing special you have to do to use this feature when you're writing the function, so you just write the function as normal. And I can show this in the REPL. I can paste that in. And that's just a normal function. It just has two parameters. This one is named string, and it has the type string. And this parameter is named length, and it has the type int. And this is a function that returns a string, as I show here. And that's the function body right here. And you could use that function as normal. So I will give it a string. We'll give it Alvin. And I want to truncate that down to 2 characters like that. So that's how you might normally call it. But you can also use this other syntax. And I kind of attribute this to, oh gosh, what was that old programming language named? Objective-C was a programming language where you could specify the name of every parameter that you're passing in. So here you could say string equals Alvin. And this string right here is the name of the parameter right there. And then you say length equal to. And again, this length is this length right here. And then hit enter. And that gives you the exact same result. And the drawback to this approach is that your code is longer. As you can see, this compared to this right here is definitely longer. But the benefit is if you don't have an IDE especially, this is easier to read because you can see the parameter name and its value, parameter name and value. And as I mentioned in the Scala cookbook, that benefit really comes into play when you have a function that has multiple parameters and they all have the same type. So this method here could be a little bit difficult to read because it says engage, and this comes from the old Star Trek stuff, right? Star Trek The Next Generation. So you say engage, true, 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 false. Well, when you read that, you have no idea what it means, especially if you're not working with an IDE. But it can be much easier to read when you see the parameter name. So I show here, is the speed set? Yes, it is. Is the direction set? Yes. Picard said, make it so. Yes. And you turned off the parking brake, and unfortunately that one was false. But again, the key here, this again is much more verbose, but it's more readable in this type of situation than this code right here. And finally, this approach is completely optional, so you can use it or not. And I probably, I don't know, gosh, 98, 99% of the time I write my code like this, and every once in a while I'll write it like this. So again, completely optional.